Hello, hello, hello. Usually I would wait for people to get in the room, but I'm so tired from ballet yesterday. Hey, Mickey Brooks. I'm so tired from ballet yesterday. Then I had to wake up extra early, and I have not been able to get back to sleep. I've been wanting to take a nap. Hey, y'all, still Gray. Got a little tickle in my throat, but yeah, I'm so tired today. I went to so a little background about me. Hey, Angelica Lena. A little background. I've been dancing like hey Nolly little aha. That's I'm sorry, I can't read that. But welcome. But yeah, a little background about me. I've been dancing like most of my life, but I've never really had like proper training in ballet. I've just been like a savant. So I danced in high school and college just from being a savant. And now that I'm older, I like wanted to just go back to the basics and learn all the things that I did not know. And so I've been taking like a beginner ballet class on Wednesdays, and Monday is like the advanced beginner class. So I was like, I want to try this one. And it tore me up. It's a little bit longer and it's a lot more it's faster pace and there's a lot more across the floor and adagios and things like that, and it wore me out, so I'm a little tired today. I had a really great um stream planned for today, so I hope we can get through most of it. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Oh, my bad. So I wanted to start off by saying, well, I don't know if any of y'all, well, I know some of y'all follow me on Twitter, but I've been going in on these people all morning. I didn't mean to, but one of the things that bothers me about our melanated immigrant cousins is that they kind of try to bully us into believing that we are African and we are all black the same. But then when they get, you know, accolades or they get a little bit of shine, they easily specify and delineate from us. But it's always a problem when we delineate from them. So literally I just posted a post about it this morning, and I've been like fighting for my life in it all morning. So all I said was, this is why we could never unify, delineate harder. Why would they post Nigerians dominated in the 2026 Super Bowl? First of all, it's not like these four people on one team could beat a whole other team. This was obviously a team effort. Why do they do this? They do this and then they get mad when we have something to say about it. And it's frustrating to me because it's like they pretend like they don't understand why we have to do this. We are dealing with ethnocide in our own country. Hey, Red Six. And since we are dealing with this ethnocide, we have to go to extreme measures just to rebalance the power. And since we're in excuse me, and since we're constantly on the offense now, because we have to nip this type of stuff in the bud. This is a video of this man who's not native to the country, who understands why it is important that we delineate because he's benefiting from it. He has some other things to say. Let me just go ahead and play it so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
Y'all ancestors, because I ain't from here, but y'all ancestors worked so hard to what I'm not. And to be honest, the type of slavery y'all talk about that happened in America was 10 times worse on the islands. I'm telling you, it's 10 times worse. So I don't see, and if you ask any islander, they'll tell you that America is the best place in the world. So I mean, I'm telling you facts because I've been around multiple. I'm talking about people who from South Africa says this shit, from Jamaica, from Puerto Rico will tell you this shit. Regardless of what's going on, they'll tell you the place that they're trying to get to is America, because America is the place where you can make your dreams happen. You see what I'm saying? It's not until, because I've been here and nobody has stopped me. I'm still got my green card right now. Nobody has never stopped me from succeeding inside America. The only thing that stopped me was my mentality. We got free physically, and y'all niggas got back slavery inside y'all mind. You see what I'm saying?
No, what's the logic in even saying anything like that? No one has stopped you because you are an immigrant to this country. We have historically been stopped. There's so much evidence to the fact that Black Americans have been stopped and impeded on our journey to progress in this country. You're not going to be stopped. You're not a threat. And to say that we're enslaved in our minds is ridiculous, knowing that you come from somewhere else where the people aren't doing well. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you are a melanated immigrant, the people in the country that you left aren't doing well. But you feel like you want to come here and try to crap on us. Where does that make sense? Angelica Elena says, fleers have to find their little meager victories where they can, I guess. Yeah. It's like they have to have victories against us. It's all about us. We are their competition. And it makes no sense because they have whole countries of people that look like them and speak their same language that they could be competing with, but they want to compete with us. And there is no competition. We are in a league of our own. Austell Gray says, I just went to your post. I wish they never would have let our elders from Tulsa go to Ghana for that photo op. Notice the Ghanaian government did not lift a finger to help them with reparations. Didn't do anything. All they did was go and take pictures. That's all they did. And they were in their hundreds. 100-year-old people going on a flight across the Atlantic is crazy. Their family can't care about them because I would never let one of the elders in my family do something like that. I don't care where they wanted to go. That is so dangerous. What if they would have died over in Ghana? No. Mickey Brooks, nobody checked him, which makes me feel like this is a room full of tethers. It might be like one or two of us in there, but this is 772. What area code is 772? I knew it was in Florida. Vero Beach, Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie. Yeah. Because of course the tethers are always going to be in some part of Florida that's a remote part that nobody goes to. And don't nobody even live in those places. And my family's from North Florida. I was born in Tampa. All the Black people in Florida. Well, I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm gonna say the majority of the Black people in Florida are buck broken. Red Six says Jamaicans can't even access their beaches, but we are the slaves. Exactly. Y'all are 90% of the people on that island. And that's the problem with these melanated people from other places. Y'all are the majority in your countries and you still don't control nothing. Your leaders are corrupt. You come here into a system that was built on slavery, and then you down talk the people that are descended from the people that built the whole country. I don't know if it's to make themselves feel better, but we're not going for that anymore. Hey, Melrose Radio. You're not late, Reparations Nation. Thank you for coming. No, you're not late. We all in here. I was saying before y'all came in that I'm super tired and I'm gonna try to get through this show. Ballet whooped me yesterday, and now I'm going to ballet twice a week because I really want to relive my ballet dreams. I always wanted to be a ballerina, but for some reason, I guess because when I was younger and I was dancing with girls that were trained and, danced very, very well, that I was kind of like intimidated because I never had that type of training. And I felt like I was not going to be able to catch up with my training. At that point, I was like 15, 16 years old. So I'm like, I'm dancing with girls who've been dancing their whole lives. And I'm pretty much on the same level as them. Even when I got to college, it's like I still don't have the training, but I'm still dancing with people that are trained. So I never really thought like I needed it, but I always wanted it. So now I'm almost 40 years old and I'm trying to be a ballerina. It is kind of embarrassing, but I love ballet and I want to continue on that trajectory, but it'd be whooping me. So today I am tired. Listening in the background while I put up the blinds. Oh, no problem. We gonna be in here kikiing and talking about what we came here to talk about. So back to we heard what he had to say. And now I want to talk about what this Texas Democrat said. And this part is really troubling because we talk about the melanated immigrants a lot because we have to deal with the fact that we wanted them to come here because we thought that they were going to help us in some way. You know what I mean? We thought they were going to add to our numbers and they were going to be helpful to us. But they really weren't. Actually, before we get to him, I want to play another video. I posted it to Twitter yesterday, but it didn't really get too much engagement. I don't think anybody actually saw it. Oops. That's not gonna. I don't think anybody actually saw it, but I really wanted to share this with y'all.
Many Caribbean people played a great part in pushing forward the civil rights movement as far as the Voting Rights Act and equality for women. Equality for women, that would have been Shirley Chisholm.
And with this woman, like she doesn't know what she's talking about. She does not have an understanding of history. She's just going off of what somebody told her clearly because nothing she's going to say makes sense. It's just going to be like some tether babble that there's no strategy behind it. There's no intellect. It's just, this is how I feel. Right. I'm so tired of these weirdos too, Angelica Elena, because like we have to keep like debunking misinformation, and it's like it's distracting and it's not productive. It actually keeps us from doing the work that we actually want to do.
The Reconstruction era right after slavery, that was Marcus Garvey.
Wait, hold on.
Listen to the Reconstruction era right after slavery, Voting Rights Act and equality for women. Equality for women, that would have been Shirley Chisholm. During the Reconstruction era right after slavery, that was Marcus Garvey.
What? Marcus Garvey, what did he have to do with Reconstruction? Like, you just saying stuff. You saying stuff that don't mean nothing.
During the time of actual civil rights movement and getting us to information, Malcolm X, who is rolling over in his grave at this moment. We also had...
Why are you speaking on behalf of Malcolm X?
Colin Powell. We've had a lot of other activists like Cicely Tyson, Sidney Poitier, too many. I did a video on it already. But Caribbean people contributed in the making of Black liberation always. Even right now, 2025, we have another Caribbean woman that's out here, loud, proud, getting it done. That is Joy Ann Reid.
Boy, if you don't get
Caribbean. There's always a Caribbean in the making. You might think that
it's also great. These people just know the names. They don't know the impact of what these people did. Like, she literally does not know what she's talking about. Then they name the same 5 people every time, compared to the millions of Black Americans that existed in this country at the same time. All of these people were inspired. The people that actually helped, they were inspired by the work of the people that were already here. We didn't go to anybody outside of our country to tell us how we can be liberated. I don't know why they think this. Yes, she said Joy Ann Reid. Hold on, I gotta rewind this because she said something else that I need to point out.
But Caribbean people contributed in the making of Black liberation always.
No. What are you talking about? We didn't get the game from you. You got the game from us. Just because you were around doesn't mean you created anything. People like Stokely Carmichael, we are the ones that emboldened him. And then when the block got hot, he left. They don't ever talk about that type of stuff. They want to claim Malcolm X a Caribbean, but his father was Black American. So I don't, where is this coming from? It's never making sense. There's no scholarship behind any of it. It's like she learned everything that she knows on the back of a Cracker Jack box. She can barely speak English, but she's reading us. Like, you're a new immigrant. You're a new immigrant. You weren't here. Your people weren't here. If you still have an accent like that, she was probably born wherever she came from. Angelica Elena says those people came over her and got on code with us, the people who were already on code, unlike these foreigners. That's why I keep saying, like, if they were here before the Immigration Act in the 60s, they were mostly on code with us, especially the ones that were born here. They were on code with us. The ones that came after, the ones that were afraid of being sent back home, they were on code with the power structure. They were scared. So yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Even right now, 2025, we have another Caribbean woman that's out here, loud, proud, getting it done. That is Joy Ann Reid, who's also a Caribbean. There's always a Caribbean in the making. You might think that they're a...
Hold on. First of all, Joy Ann Reid is the biggest tether there is. All she does is speak as we, us. Your parents, your family's from the Congo and somewhere else. Like, I think her dad might be from the Congo and her mom might be from another place. So there is no we and us. I want these people to start talking about their own experiences and stop trying to tether onto ours, because what they do is they conflate their politics. Thank you, Mickey Brooks, Congo and Guyana. What they do, which is also weird, like it's clear that her parents were probably students who came over here on a student visa and they got together and they had her an anchor baby. Whenever I see something like that, it's clear evidence for me that her parents were students. So that's another thing. They came over here as students. They were already on some type of CIA covert mission. They were probably liberal arts. At least one of her parents studied at the University of Iowa as a black or melanated immigrant in what was probably the 50s or the 60s. Yeah, she called us Russian bots, and she and held on to that for a really long time, even after it was debunked. She still kept saying it. I was gonna hold on. Let's finish what she's saying.
Joy Ann Reid, who's also a Caribbean. There's always a Caribbean in the making. You might think that they're a foundational Black American, but they have Caribbean roots.
You hear that? Why would we think that they're foundational Black American? If y'all weren't trying to cosplay and pretend like you're us. Why? Why would we think that?
We have been here. We have been a part of the arts movement, music, blah, 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 blah. Fashion. We have done many, many things. Including Africans that have come here and have done a lot for the movement of Black Americans.
How much is a lot?
When you say
that's my thing. Like, how much is a lot? I want them to start actually being specific with the things that they say that they helped us with, because they're doing the same thing as the Latinos did. They're trying to take a small contribution, a very, very small contribution, and make it the whole of something that we've accomplished. You have to quantify that. Like, what is a lot? Tell me exactly what you have done, and I'll let you know that that is something that we had already done before. So stop taking credit for things that you did not do in your home country. You came here, got some game from some real warriors, and decided that you wanted to pretend like you were one. Because you did not do that back home. Like I said, Stokely Carmichael changed his name to Kwame Ture. He got gone as soon as the block got hot. As soon as they started knocking off civil rights leaders, he left and went to Africa. So I don't want to hear this, oh, they helped a lot. We did this. Y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all did nothing. Let's finish.
You agree with Black Americans for what they're doing now? What you are saying is that you agree with them being, or the isolation movement, or them being isolationist, which.
And that's what I say this sometimes too. There's like a gulf in between the intellect between us and them. We're not isolationists. We're not isolating ourselves from anyone. The only thing that we are doing is going inside, and we're going inward, and we're trying to fix the problems that we have in our own ethnic group. That's what we're doing. We're not isolating ourselves from anyone. We've never isolated ourselves. We've been the ones that have been isolated. I'm still great says English, but do you speak it? She's trying really hard to choose her words because obviously English might not be her first language. But for her to say that we're trying to isolate ourselves from them, they're the ones that have kept all of their own customs, their languages, their food. They've kept their own culture, and they've kept their own ethnic identifiers. So when they say that we're isolating ourselves from them, they've always delineated and made themselves separate from us. That's why I say, like, if this was my America, you would not be coming over with that. You wouldn't be, oh, I'm Jamaican, I'm Congolese. No. We're not doing that. You're American now. And I would automatically make them join the military. We're enlisting you into the military for 2 years. And even after that, you have to wait 10 years to be a citizen because we need to watch you and make sure you don't have any dual allegiances. Angelica Lena says, we're the only group of people who weren't isolationists. Little did we know. Exactly. Exactly. That's why when these people say things like this, I just assume it's projection. It's projection. They don't really know us. They don't really know us. So they have like a surface level understanding, and we have been trying for decades to show these people who we are, and they still don't see us for who we are. And at that point, once and this is how I've even experienced this in my personal life. Like, you can show somebody who you are. You can keep trying to beg them to see you for the person that you are, but if they don't see it, that you can't do anything but separate. You can't deal with people like this because they're not even trying to understand you, because they're going off emotion purely. They think that we're rejecting them. No, we're trying to save ourselves. Red Six says there's so much proof that Caribbeans were delineating back during the civil rights movement. Hey Raven, yeah, they were delineating back then. I remember what's that there was a politician that said that when he was a student, he was able to move around because he spoke in an African accent during a time where, we were being segregated and we couldn't go into, white restaurants, drink at white water fountains, things like that. He was able to do whatever he wanted to because they knew that he was African and he was not black. So, yeah, at this point, it's like there's nothing that we can do. We have to save ourselves. All of these other people, they're out for themselves. And we were out for everybody, thinking that everybody was going to be on our team helping us against the system of white supremacy. No, no. So now we have to do something different, because if we keep doing the same thing we were doing, they're going to keep drowning us out. We're at the point where they've gotten a little bit of power and a little bit of visibility. And since they and you can tell that this is why these people's countries are the way they are, because they don't plan for the long haul. They wait, they as soon as they feel like they've gotten a victory, all bets are off and they start showing their hands. We're not those type of people. We're very much like how they were in Wakanda, where they were hiding all of the wealth that they had and people did not know what they really had. And we don't, as much as we have allowed people into our culture and into who we are, there's still so much about us that people do not know. And that's why when we started delineating, everybody was they don't know us, so they thought that we were this docile group of people that allowed people to play with them. No, we let you get away with what we can see that you're doing, but all bets are off now. We're not allowing y'all to get away with anything, and that's why they're mad, because they didn't think that it would ever get to this point. Let's finish with her, because she's really embarrassing herself.
Is not a good movement for the black community, because when we start dividing, when we start breaking up ourselves in these subcategories, right, it only hinders. So right now, what are black people? 13, 14% of the population. If you and I are not counted as black because we are not foundational black Americans, that weakens the black community. That will
How so? How does that weaken our community? If we're on code with each other in our own country, how does us allowing you into our group when you're not on code with us, you're just another number? How does that help us? We're much better off without you. The problem is your numbers are so small, they're still to the right of the decimal point. Your numbers are so small that y'all don't even really register unless you're with us. So once we start delineating and taking you out of our group and y'all have to stand on your own, what does that mean for you? even without the non-white Latinos and the other melanated groups that come from other places in the world, we're still 40 plus million strong without you. That's why I keep saying, like, this is all projection. We don't need your numbers. If you're not on code with us, we don't need your numbers. These people come here and they act like coons. They want to act like they're down to us, but behind closed doors, they're upholding white supremacy. I think, and another thing, these people still have family back home. They're sending money home. They're sending barrels home. How much of that are they extracting from our communities and sending back to other places? These people have businesses in our communities where we're paying and we're giving them money. They're sending this money to another country. That money could be reinvested into our communities, our neighborhoods. But we're not getting any of the money that we're paying out. But they think that somehow they are on code with us. No. I just found out that most Latinos come from Europe, so they are white in my eyes. Yeah. I mean, that's how I look at most of these immigrants, period. We're the only black group. We are the only black group. Everybody else is white. Reparations Nation say that part. I say that all the time. They don't invest into our neighborhoods or America. Like, they're the reasons why our neighborhoods look like slums. Because they come from places that look like slums. They're okay with their homes looking junky and having trash all over the place. They're used to that, you know? They're white in their own eyes too until it benefits them in some way to claim that they're black. Exactly. They only want to claim that they're black when they can feel like they have a benefit to it. And now they want to say that they're black because they see that we are getting away from them. So now they're trying to like force themselves into our group. It's not going to work. Melrose Radio says we're the only real blacks and the only real American. Hello? Heavy on that. We are the only real Americans. And in the coming years, we're going to see that. Because we're one band, one sound. We're seeing that all these other groups, I mean, we know this, but even those of us that are still attached to the Democratic train, they're going to be the next to fall because they're going to be seeing that these other groups are going to be prioritizing themselves, especially in this, time of ICE. They're really going to be prioritizing immigrants. So those of us, even the black gays, the black women that are still attached to the Democratic train, they're going to start falling off too because they're going to see that they're not going to be getting any attention. Watching 2028. 2028 is going to be just as bad as 2024 for the Democrats because they're still not going to be talking to us at all. When we talked about this yesterday with the Bad Bunny thing, they're already rolling out their 2026 for the midterms in their 2028 platform, and it's all about immigrants. They're not gonna have us anywhere near their platform. There's going to be no specificity for us at all. So we really got to pay attention to that.
We'll give them, like, they'll be 10% of the population. How does that help the census and the money that goes into the communities to help the money?
What? You idiot. First of all, we're not getting any of the money. These other groups that the Black Caucus supports, the specific group for the Jamaicans and the Nigerians and the Haitians and blah, 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 all of those groups are getting that money. We're not seeing a dime of that money. What are you talking about? She don't know what she's talking. She's she doesn't know what she's talking about, and she's trying to lecture to us. We're not going to listen to you, lady. You're an idiot.
Black people right now, these black people that are talking, they're dumb, they're stupid. They're the uneducated. They are like the MAGAs. Like white people have the MAGAs and we have MAGAs because we have to deal with them too. Now, black people, we have the FBAs that we have to deal with. They're like the MAGA movement. Do not, whatever you do not condone this. Speak up against it because it's dumb. It is dumb to separate me and you from them. It is dumb for them to separate them from you from me. We're all one black people. And our oppressors, we're not oppressing each other.
I think the biggest problem that I have with her and other melanated immigrants, like their father, Roland Martin, is they all speak like him. Why are you disrespecting me because you need my help? You need me. So why are you talking to me like you crazy? You better put some respect on it. I'm not trying to listen to you and you're talking to me like that. And like it's like the Democrats have created this environment where where black people are supposed to be everybody's footstools and anybody can disrespect us. This is democratic stuff. I'm gonna move on from her because we still like I always plan too much for this show and we can never get to it. But I really want y'all to see this. I was watching Phil Scott's show on, the African Diaspora News Channel. I don't know if y'all watch him, but I appreciate him. I love when big country people talk intelligently. I just love it. And he showed this, and I would have never seen this before because I don't know who this is. And this woman, Sandra Babu Botang, she's in America. She's here in our country, and she has a show somewhere. I don't know if it's on YouTube or somewhere, but she has a platform, and she clearly speaks on the behalf of all melanated people in America, including Black Americans. So I want y'all to hear what she has to say because she was really talking out the side of her neck. I'm not gonna speed her up because I know she might have she has an accent, so I want you to be able to hear her and listen to what she has to say. I wanted to let this play through, but a huge issue that I have with these people is that they want to pretend like they're legitimizing our struggle, but then they want to put a but on it. But wait, you can't hear or see the video. What? Sorry, y'all. Maybe I need to remove this. Maybe that's what happened. Let me add this to the stage.
Wish everyone.
Could y'all hear that? Melrose Radio says, I like Phil Scott, but sometimes I don't watch the African co-host. I just watch Phil Scott. If he goes live, I watch Phil Scott. I don't even really be watching any of the other stuff on there because I understand he's been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? He was doing this before FBA and ADOS kind of blew up, and he had to actually start paying attention to what was really going on. Because at one point he was kind of against it, and he was still trying to be very pro diaspora. You know what I mean? But he's become a lot different in the last few years. Reparation Nation says, I used to watch Phil Scott, but he's been saying some off code. I haven't heard him say anything off code recently, but he used to say off code stuff. He used to really be off code. Oh, you know who she is, Austell Gray? I ain't never seen this lady before. I have never seen her before. But I'm gonna let it play through. I'm gonna let y'all watch it all the way through because I don't want to stop it. Because I want y'all to be just as mad as I was when I saw this.
A happy Black History Month. But this Black History Month cannot be business as usual. This is not the time for surface level celebration posts. It's time for us to ask deeper, harder questions about where.
Hold on. She's already starting off talking about us. Okay. Tariq was talking about her on Sunday. It is rough to watch this one. Oh man. I came to this late. I don't be watching Tariq all the time. People have to tell me to watch Tariq. If I don't, he's not somebody that's like on my radar, mainly because I watch most of my videos on YouTube, and I think he might be shadow banned on YouTube. They never suggest Tariq videos to me. Her entire speech was written by AI. It sounds like it. Yeah, happy BHM, but yeah, like, and then she's talking about we have to. No, we don't have to do nothing. We don't have to do nothing. But these people are so condescending towards us. They think that they really think that we are the little brothers. Like, no. That reminds me of that Mace rant when he was talking about Jay Prince, and he was like, they really think we the little niggas. That's how they look at us. You know what I mean? They really think that. They have no idea. But I mean, we're clearly showing them. And they're bothered.
Where we stand as a people and what type of future we're building. Because something deeply troubling is happening in Black America. There is a growing movement within the Black American community that is pushing a narrative that threatens to divide us even further if we don't challenge it head on and expose it for what it is. They call themselves foundational Black Americans. And at the core of their rhetoric is a dangerous idea that the defining origin of Black people in America is not Africa, but enslavement. They want to convince us and the world that Black American history is somehow different from Black history in general, and that it began with slavery. That Africa, its kingdoms, its knowledge systems, its intellectual and cultural foundations is secondary or irrelevant altogether. And that Africans and Caribbeans who came to this country, who fought, organized, built, marched, theorized, and sacrificed right alongside Black Americans somehow do not belong to this story at all. Let's be clear. This episode is not about denying the unique and brutal history of slavery in America. That history is real. That trauma is real. And the fight for justice rooted in that experience is legitimate. But how exactly does lineage or identity begin at the point where oppression forced you to land?
My name is Shayna, and I'm the CEO of Baskin Lather. I'm also a licensed nurse practitioner.
Who are you?
We can pause it right there so I can see what y'all are saying about this. Reparations Nation says I follow him and get the notifications, but they shadow ban most of the NBN. Yeah, I never. Tariq Nasheed, he never comes up on my feed at all, so I don't get notifications or anything. Garvey warmed up to the KKK, by the way. Yeah, he did. And we know the truth about Marcus Garvey, but I don't know. I kind of feel like these people, they actually agree with all the things that Garvey was doing. Like, I think that we found out kind of late, but I think they always knew and they agree with it. So that's why they always bring him up. Millrose Radio says Destiny swaps Heather Babel. Exactly. They want us to acknowledge a history that none of us have any real knowledge of. We don't, even those of us that do have African ancestry, we can't pull from it. It's not tangible. We don't have any cousins in, I don't know, Abuja. You know what I mean? We don't have any cousins in Ghana. We don't have family there. You know what I mean? That, I feel like that is where you're rooted, where you have family, where your bones are buried. We don't have that knowledge. So it's like they want us, and this is the psychology behind it. They want us to be confused. Obviously, confusion keeps you in a state where you're easy to be manipulated if you're confused. And they want us to be so confused about what our identity is, so we can give our identity to them. If we say, oh, we're African, we have this history in Africa, that means this woman is the same as me, even though my family has been on this land for over 500 years. So that means that history is also her history. That we really have to call this stuff out every single time we see it, because this is psychological warfare, that what they're doing to us. MG was trash. It's like they've never read a history book or studied our great master teachers. No, they don't study our master teachers because they think that they're smarter and they know more than our master teachers. That's the problem. They have like this disdain for us. For some reason, the people who don't have written history, don't have universities in their countries, in their tribes, they don't have libraries like we do. They think that they're still more intelligent than us. And that's why it's important that we really have to start really showing these people and checking these people, because they don't have any respect for us at all. The way that she's talking is extremely condescending. Like she's telling us something that we don't know.
Before the first enslaved ancestor landed on U.S. soil. Today we're breaking down this movement, what the foundational Black American ideology actually claims, why it's gaining momentum right now, why its historical framing is incomplete and false, and most importantly, why this rhetoric, if left unchallenged, puts Black unity, power, and liberation at risk. Because when a narrative tells us that Black history starts with slavery, it doesn't just distort the past, it cages the future. And worse, it teaches us.
You hear that? It cages the future. And what's the future? The future is their future. If we say that they're not a part of our Black history, they can't be a part of our present or our future, because we're letting the gates down. You can't continue to pretend like you're a part of our group. This is destiny swap nonsense. Y'all are going to have to create your own future. You can't continue to piggyback off of ours if we're not benefiting from it. I'll still Grace say I'm about to go outside and get a switch. Mickey Brooks says we can't keep our hands in their pockets if they self-identify, and that threatens us. Pretty much. That's exactly what she's saying. That's exactly what she's saying. It threatens your future. Yes, because you aren't going to be able to piggyback off of ours any longer. Let's continue with her.
To fight each other instead of the systems that trapped us. Early Africans, as part of a long African civilizational continuum with languages, cultures, technologies, and histories that existed long before they ever encountered Europeans, the FBA framework increasingly treats enslavement and resistance on American soil as the starting point of identity.
It's so ignorant for her to try to like question that. We had an actual ethnogenesis in this country. We're not just African, we're also indigenous and European at the same time. That's why it really bothers me when these people try to make us solely African. It's like it's clearly an agenda behind it. There's clearly an agenda behind this. We're gonna keep going with her. Oh, we're running out of time. 222, make a wish.
From that framing, another claim emerges. Many FBA proponents argue that they are the foundational builders of this nation. That Black Americans...
Why the air quotes? We are. We are. And this is another reason why we could never ally with these people. They can't give us credit where it's due. They want to minimize our impact. And even in your daily life, in your personal life, if someone is doing this to you, you got to cut them off. You can't let people down talk you, condescend to you, minimize your impact, and still allow them to be around you. They are snakes. They are plotting on you. This is how they think. They are snakes. They come from these primitive backgrounds. They don't let go of that primitivity when they come here. They're still the same people. They just throw on a Black American jacket and they think that it's cloaking the people who they really are. These people are not to be trusted.
Descended from U.S. slavery are not just central, but exclusive to the Black struggle in America.
What other Black experience is there? Like, you still have an accent. You were probably born wherever you came from. And you want to make it seem like your Black experience has contributed to this country in any meaningful way. No, there is only one Black experience. We're still trying to get repair from slavery. If that repair happened when it was supposed to, we could probably even have a conversation about Black immigrants contributing to the country. But there has been no repair. There has been no recognition. And now we have people that look like us coming here yesterday telling us that they contributed to anything in this country. Does that even make sense? Austell Grace says they can't stand that we actually built this country. They can't stand it. They don't want to even admit to it, which is so crazy to me. You can't admit that this country was built on slave labor. That's the truth. If people don't want to believe that, if they don't want to admit that, you can't listen to anything else they say. Because even the most racist white people will admit that. Donald Trump admitted that. But this woman can't admit that. Mickey Brooks says they want to make us African, but then say we're more African, Blacker than you. And it's some of our own people doing this too. Because someone said that to me, talking about, oh, you light skinned, how are you a hotep? First of all, I'm not a hotep. And that to me is derogatory. But me being light skinned has nothing to do with my lineage. I'm Black American. But they want us, they want someone like me to give my identity over to them. Then who am I? After I allow you to be Black, what does that make me?
And this is where the danger deepens. Because that argument quietly asks us to forget something critical. It asks us to overlook the fact that many of the most influential figures in Black liberation, culture, and political thought were immigrants or children of immigrants of African descent.
No. Don't try to say that. They like the other girl was doing. Don't try to pull that card. Because none of those people did anything that was unique to America. We were already doing that.
Some of whom also had ancestors enslaved in the Americas. Marcus Garvey, Harry Belafonte, Kwame Ture, C.L.R. James, Louis Farrakhan, Ivan Van Sertima.
People always want to bring up Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They always want to bring him up, but they always want to ignore who his teacher was. If you bring up Malcolm X and you bring up Louis Farrakhan, you need to bring up Elijah Muhammad as well. That's how I know these people are very disingenuous. And Harry Belafonte, he became a movie star at a time where a Black American male would not have been able to become a movie star. He owed us. So every dollar that he gave trying to support civil rights activists, that's what he was supposed to do. Okay? The problem is these new people like her, you're not giving anything to us. You're trying to eat off of our struggle and our story, but you're not reinvesting anything back into our communities. And that's why we have to cut you off. So just us delineating, it delegitimizes everything that you've said and everything you've done, because now you're just a lost African in America trying to figure out where you can place your stake, because we're not allowing you to place your stake with us anymore. So either you go with the immigrant story, or you take your ass back home, because you're not on our team anymore. We've already kicked you off. So even this little diatribe that you're having right now is useless, because who are you trying to convince? We're already solid. That's what the foundational part of Black American is. We're already solid. We're 10 toes down. But us being solid makes it so that you aren't solid. Now you got to figure out something else to do, baby girl. Malcolm X was light skinned. Is he a hotep too? Maybe to these people. Let's let her finish.
Cicely Tyson, Shirley Chisholm, and countless others. Because their lineage does not fit a narrow definition. Are we really going to say that these figures who shaped Black consciousness, civil rights, political representation...
They shaped what? Not one of those people shaped Black consciousness. Not one person she named shaped Black consciousness.
Pan-African thought, culture, and global solidarity were somehow outside the Black American struggle? Because history tells a very different story. Black liberation in America has always been diasporic.
No,
always global. Always.
What? I can't believe she said that. What? You know what? Let's just let her finish, because I can't. I'm not going to keep stopping her. I want her to hurry up and stop talking.
It's interconnected. From abolition to civil rights, from labor movements to cultural revolutions, Black progress in America was never achieved in isolation. So when foundational begins to mean exclusive, when recognition turns into...
I'm sorry, I gotta stop. You can see the insecurity in these people by the words that they use. She's talking about exclusive. She's talking about exclusive. What's exclusive? The Black American, the foundational Black American identity that you're not a part of? You feel like you're being excluded? Also, Grace says, keep in mind, Phil okayed this. I mean, I think when he started this African Diaspora Network, he didn't really realize how bad the situation was. Because even when the delineation movement started, he was still trying to be very like gung-ho about the diaspora. But he couldn't do it anymore. That's the beauty in what we're doing. We're pointing out things that people try to ignore. And once you start really paying attention to it, you can't ignore it anymore. So what you're gonna see people being disrespectful to you and treating you like you're just some lost African that doesn't know who you are, when you clearly know who you are. You're gonna allow people to keep treating you like that after you see what their true intentions are? You can't. It's impossible. So what do? You got to cut these people off. You got to cut them off.
Boundary policing. When justice becomes a zero-sum identity contest, we're no longer talking about history. We're talking about fragmentation. And fragmentation has never led to freedom.
Okay, I want to let that play.
So yeah, these people are grasping at straws. They are very bothered about what we're doing. And the only thing that they know how to do is to be disrespectful, insulting, and condescending to us. Because if they actually tell the truth about who we are, they will concede their own loss in this fight. They're fighting us for our identity. By them admitting that we are valid in our claims and that we are different from these people, we've had an ethnogenesis, we've had a unique struggle that they have never had to experience, especially the people that just got here. If they start admitting this, then that is their concession. So what they're going to do is keep insulting us, keep playing in our faces, and keep treating us like we're not the people that we claim to be. And this is how they have sealed their fate. Because we're not changing. We're not changing at all. We're staying the same. We have already ascended. If the toothpaste can't come out the tube, we have already squeezed all the toothpaste out of the tube. There's no way that we're getting back into it. And they know this. I don't know, like anybody else that's trying to turn us back around, it's just desperation. And I want you to hear what this guy has to say. He is a congressman in Texas. And it's not just the immigrants that look like us who are threatened and scared. It's the Asians as well. So listen to what he has to say. So one thing that I find very interesting is that he says that we are the majority. Who is we? When he says this, who is the we that is the majority? He already called us African Americans. The Asians, the Latinos, the African Americans. Is he talking? Is this sounds like it's another immigrant coalition that he thinks is the majority? We're not banding with these people. They've already shown that we can't trust them. We are so much better off on our own, and we have covered so much ground just by sitting down and allowing these people to try to hash out their differences on their own. Oh, y'all couldn't hear what he said? Hold on, we gonna play that again. Y'all couldn't hear him? That is so annoying. Cause I really need y'all to hear that. Because this encapsulates the whole live. How scared this man is.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk about this. I always tell people the day
the immigrants are invading the country from the inside out. And he just admitted it. And they want us to help them do it. No. Y'all didn't come over here and help us get any justice. So why are we banding with you to help amplify and boost whatever y'all are trying to do for us not to get anything out of it? No, sir. We're not doing that. Dante 3x says Farrakhan advocates for FBAs and gave his life to our advancement for justice. What have these new Black immigrants done close to that? All they do is take, but Farrakhan gave his life to our struggle. And he's still alive. And he's still alive doing this. So I hate when they bring him up. They haven't done 1/10 of what he's done. They need to keep his name out of their mouths. Austell Gray says, I saw dudes pleading with their Pan-Africanist friends when they were dogging out the South this weekend, begging them not to speak bad to the good ones in the South. Like, and they keep trying to, they say that we're being divisive, but it's always the melanated immigrants in New York starting trouble. All of this North versus South stuff is them. They really need to leave us alone. But we're showing them better than we can tell them. All of this stuff is just them acting out because they're upset that we're not allowing them to be us anymore. They wanted to be divided. Now they want to band together because they can't handle the smoke. Yeah, because they understand that without being able to cloak themselves in us, then they're completely powerless. If they thought we didn't have any power, what power they think they're going to have? They got to deal with police brutality and ICE. They, we, our. Exactly. There is no way for them to let the air out of our tires. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop our chariot. It's not going to happen. And you would think that they would speak nicely to us and they wouldn't try to play in our faces and disrespect us. But even the Asian man did it. We don't have the same oppressor. I don't know who you think is oppressing you, but who has been oppressing my bloodline for the last 500 years in this country is not the same person that you think is holding you back. Because I can guarantee you, he probably wasn't even born in this country, but you're a congressman. You're a congressman. Did you see that Asian group just suing San Francisco today to stop their reparations plan? No, I did not see that. But please send that to me because we can talk about that tomorrow. It'll be fair when they cut the check, period. None of these people have tried to get us justice. The Latinos, the Asians, none of these people have tried to help us get justice. And until we can see some reciprocity, they need to leave us the hell alone. Jean Wu was born in China. I told y'all. I told y'all. These people are very insidious. And to piggyback on what we were talking about yesterday, because I gotta go and go pick up a scene, but this hip hop museum, this is who is running the hip hop museum. The CEO president is a Rocky Bucano, and the chairman is a Ruben Diaz Jr. You see this? Rocky Bucano. These are the people in charge of the hip hop museum. So it's no wonder that they would do put Fat Joe's The Book of Jose during the Black History Month. You see this? All of these people are playing in our faces. All of these people are playing in our faces, and they want us to believe that we somehow can still ally with these people. And they're somehow going to help us get justice, the individual justice that we need. No, they think that we have some type of collective issue. No, I don't care what problems you have. You need to help me fix my problem. And until then, all of us are going to be uncomfortable. And whoever you think is oppressing you, that oppression is going to get worse and worse and worse because we're no longer allowing ourselves to be the brunt, to receive the brunt of the oppression. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to take this off the stage in order to show you what I was showing, what I was seeing. So let me remove that and I'll show y'all again. Right here. It says a hip hop museum in the Bronx is scheduled to open 2026 at Bronx Point. Is led by CEO President Rocky Bucano and Chairman Ruben Diaz Jr. And this is what they look like. Look at him. Rocky Bucano, Ruben Diaz Jr. So they've already decided that they were going to colonize hip hop, put a museum in the Bronx. I don't know how they're going to completely remove foundational Black Americans from the hip hop museum, but it looks like they're trying to figure it out now. I doubt it's open. I guess by the time they open, they'll figure out how they can make that Latinos created hip hop 50-50 work. You still can't see it? Shoot. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. And this is what the hip hop museum is supposed to look like. So if it's not open, look at Rocky. Look at him. And look at Ruben. So the hip hop museum, it looks like it's built. Is it open? It's not open yet. This is what it looks like. It looks nice. But it's clearly going to be a monument to some bullshit and lies. Maybe it is open. Maybe it's just closed for now. Yeah. So it was open. Or maybe it wasn't open. It says it's temporarily closed. Opening in 2026. Oh, yeah. It's already going to be a monument to some lies and some bull. So, family, this is a great show. Red Six says these were the same groups telling us that we complain about racism too much. Now they want to be allies, right? They think that we have the same oppressor. Mind you, they just got to this country. Also, Grace says, "Damn, the fix is in." Yeah, it is. I want to see how they're going to be able to try to tell this this lie about hip hop being created 50-50 with the Latinos. So this was a great show. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being with me today. I gotta go pick up my son. So if I don't see y'all in the tweets, assalamu alaikum. I will see y'all tomorrow at the same time. Thank you so much, Mickey Brooks. I appreciate you. Okay, Mimi, put some clothes on.
Mommy, I already have my jacket on.